Kia ora whānau, and welcome to another episode of Get a Job and Get Healthy with Costas Enterprises. I am your host, as always, Alex Costas, and today I was thinking, so for those that don't know, today is the 3rd of March, and we have, or actually the 4th of March, sorry, and in New Zealand we have just literally this morning had a couple of, scary earthquakes, 7.1 and 8.1, 7.2, and another 6.2, and this has potentially caused, tidal waves, and everyone was very much on edge. I do apologise for not getting an episode out yesterday, but basically I wanted to sort of take a bit of stock and just let you guys know that, we are safe here now. If you have been reading the news reports and you're like, oh, what the hell's going on? There were some sort of larger waves that came for the tsunami. Earthquake-wise, it appears like there was a lot of shaking but very little damage compared to, other times and our other earthquakes that we've had, unfortunately. Like Christchurch, for example. Now, while I record this, I am actually driving at the moment, so please bear in mind for the car sounds, and as you heard just before, the GPS, which is currently in Japanese. I don't understand Japanese, but I at least know now that every time I go around close to a certain location, I get Konosuke Kuriti desu, Choku irasai, which, again, I have no idea what that means. My Japanese basically is still remnant of what I learnt, which was Hai dozo suwatte kudasai, which, for those that know Japanese, will know that it says, yes, please sit down. And that's about all I can really remember, apart from, things like, Nani, Shizuka, Dubuji, all the stuff that, we all know from anime. But what I wanted to basically do is I wanted to cover off a couple of things on the health side this time. I'm hoping everyone is taking stock with what it is that's going on in their lives. And, I know for some people they're still in lockdown, and Auckland in Wellington has gone into sort of a further lockdown over here, as we had a couple of cases in the community. And in New Zealand we've managed it really, really well, I think. And so, it's been one of those sorts of weird weeks where we've been in sort of level 2. I've actually had a week off work, which has been really, really great. I've been doing some cleaning and, all that sort of thing for just helping to do some stuff around the house at Mum's place, making sure everything's giveaway things. Found a whole lot of my old toys, which was very, very surreal, looking through those and going, oh my God, I remember this. And playing with them and all sorts of things. I didn't play with them today, don't worry. I did it 2 days ago. But basically, I wanted to focus a bit more on the health side, specifically on the other thing. So my partner and I just recently purchased our first air fryer. And as you guys are aware, I've started doing sort of plant-based and all that sort of thing. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about the plant-based air frying and how that works out. As well as also look at just basically discussing the I'll sort of give you the recipe for the keto bread that I keep talking about and loving. So I thought that would be a good thing. Now, you will have to, of course, jot this down. I will try to repeat the ingredients a couple of times when I do discuss it, so that you guys can capture it all, because I know there is a lot. But at the same time, I do plan to start writing blogs again on my blog, costasenterprises.business.blog. And one of the first ones I do plan to do is actually post this recipe, as well as a photo of the ingredients and a photo of the actual keto bread itself once it's been done. Now, when I am talking about the keto bread, please remember that I am going off a piece of paper. I am not... I don't have any specific brands, but when I do post, I will take photos of the brands that we currently use for our keto bread, and hopefully that, just basically helps you on your way. But first, let's talk about the plant-based stuff. Now, I've already plugged my website, costasenterprises.business.blogs. If you want, you can also contact me via email. Just contact me. It's Don Costas, that's DON for Nike, COSTAS @gmail.com. I'm currently sitting at about 645 listens, which still blows my mind, guys. You guys are truly amazing. But, you know, I want a bit more feedback. I want you guys to hit me up, contact me, let me know what you want to do. If you've got any ideas for what you want me to say, just, you know, please feel free to contact me. So, yeah, the air fryer. I've got to admit, we've only had it for a couple of days, and the things we have had have been vegetable based. A couple of things that I never thought I would actually eat, and have been actually really, really nice in the air fryer. So the first thing we did is, when we got the air fryer, we got the large size from a place called Kmart, and we got it delivered. So it was $80 New Zealand, which is not very much. It's quite cheap for an air fryer, I know, and you know, it's not a Philips air fryer or anything like that, but it is the same size as sort of a Philips XL air fryer. And you know, when you look at sort of $200 to $300 for one of those, and then you've got this one for $80, non-brand, I mean, you can't really go wrong. And yeah, it works perfectly fine. I've previously had an air fryer before, which I only used about twice, I'll be honest, and it was one of the very, very first air fryers, so it was sort of like its own. It wasn't a simple slide out tray. It was like you take the whole top off, you put the thing in the middle, then you put the whole top on, and the thing was really heavy. So we're talking right at the start of technology for the air frying for sort of residential homes. And yeah, so to see this thing, it's basically like, you know, you pull it out, you pull the tray in, put your food in, put the tray on, set the time, and you're away laughing, basically. And yeah, so I was quite impressed, and so what I ended up having, the very first meal I had, my partner went and cooked kumara chips, which, for those that don't know, kumara over here is, we call it kumara, but people call it sweet potato. Specifically, it's usually the yellow sweet potato, not so much the orange sweet potato, but this was the orange sweet potato. And yeah, it was really, really tasty. So I know that, you know, for keto and all that sort of things, a lot of people talk about sweet potato and how good it is for you and how you should have it. I'm going to be completely honest. I before did not really like sweet potato, and even though I live in New Zealand where kumara is quite rampant, especially the yellow kumara, I found that it was actually, I never liked it, because even though I love sweet things and I love potatoes, sweet and potato together, I just never really stuck with me. So it was really, really welcoming and really nice to try this sweet potato chips. And while, yes, some of them were a little bit soggy, but overall they were really, really tasty and really, really crispy and hard, which is, you know, how you want your chips to be, basically. So yeah, strongly suggest, if you do get things like that, like an air fryer, and you want to test it out, try yourself some kumara, try yourself some potato, make your own chips, basically, and see how it goes. As I said, I was quite impressed. The next thing we made was actually kale chips. So my partner has, as you guys are aware, I've talked about before how she sort of started her own little veggie garden, and she's just killing it. Like, oh my god, there's so much lettuce and cucumber. She harvested 9 cucumbers the other day off like a couple of seeds that she got. And we're talking full-size cucumbers, and we've given some away and everything, so it's been crazy. But she grew a lot of kale, and so we tried our hand at kale chips. Now, I've watched a couple of videos on kale chips, and usually when I tried to make them myself, I followed the instructions. I cut out the stems and all that sort of things, and add a little bit of oil. I tried flipping them, but when I did it, I put them on too high and they burnt. And I'm going to admit, when I did them myself, they were not very tasty. Now, this was pre-air fryer. My partner just simply put the kale in there without taking off the stems, and she didn't flip them around. So the ones on the top were amazing and really, really crunchy and how you want your kale chips to be, but with the stem. So, of course, you don't eat the stem and you sort of chuck away that part when you're doing it. And yeah, it was really, really tasty. The ones on the bottom were a little bit different. The stem was still wet. The kale themselves was still a little bit wet, which was a bit of a bugger. But overall, like, if you do it properly each time, I can definitely see the potential. And given that I have quite a craving at times for chippies and chips. So, for those that don't know, Americans, for example, when I say chips, I'm talking about like French fries, potato chips, and then when I say the kettle chips, chippies are like your version of crisps, like Lay's, for example. So I love crisps. I love chips. We call both the potato chips and the French fries chips over here in New Zealand. And so I have a craving for actually both of those. I love my French fries. I love my chippies and all that sort of stuff. So finding an alternative for that sort of stuff has always been a hard thing for me. But recently I haven't had too much of a craving for them, and now that we know that we can do the kale chips, and they actually come out really nice, then it's something more that I can add to my food that I can eat. Overall, air fryer has been pretty amazing. Now, we have not yet tried any meat in the air fryer. It's just been veggies. My partner's gone a bit crazy and done broccoli and cauliflower and all that sort of stuff because she wants to try that stuff first. And I have not had a chance to try that. I have had some carrots that she made, which are also really, really tasty and crispy. And I quite like the crispy taste. But yeah, we one day we will try the vegan nuggets, the chicken nuggets, and chicken again. I'm using the quotations like chicken. So actually vegan nuggets, or corn, or QRN, or whatever it is. So yeah, that's going to be interesting because they're sort of baked, or air fried, if you could say. And of course, with those particular types of nuggets, usually we bake them, but we don't get that same sort of crisp unless we bake them for a really, really long time. And then the taste on the inside is very rubbery and not really very nice at all. So yeah, that's the plan, is to try a few more things in the air fryer. One thing I did try the other day, so I love my old El Paso sort of tacos and enchiladas and all that sort of stuff. And one of the things I saw is there is a new sort of burrito / tortilla pouch that El Paso do. And it was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. It basically is a pouch where you can just shove the stuff in the middle and nothing falls out at the bottom. So it's like they've taken a normal burrito and then instead of like making it as a wrap so that you've got both sides open, it's just open at one side. So yeah, it's very, very cool, very, very tasty, and very easy to make. So what we did is we took some kale as a substitute for lettuce, put the mince in, put some fresh capsicum, some fresh cucumber, and some I cooked some corn, Quorn mince, which was the first time we tried that, and with some taco sort of mix, salsa, and that was really, really tasty. Wasn't too spicy, which was good because I don't really like spicy. So yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised with the corn mince. I have had veggie mince before, and I've cooked bolognese with the veggie mince, and so it was nice to try a different type of veggie mince, not officially titled corn, whereas the other one was plant-based. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. But now, on to the keto bread. So, with the keto bread, again, it depends on how you like your bread. If you want it to be more sort of softer and like a white, you would put it onto the white setting when you're doing it. What I'm going to be giving you is basically just the recipe itself. Now, this is cooked in a bread maker, okay? So, you do need a bread maker if you're going to do it. If you are going to do it as sort of a... if you are going to just put it in the oven and let it rise, I'm sorry, I don't have the actual dimensions, how much it feeds or anything like that. It's basically, if you buy keto bread at the moment, you'll notice it's kind of like a brick, and it's very small. This is about 1.5 times bigger than that. So it's almost 2 times the size of the keto bread. It's soft on the inside, which is really, really lovely. And to me, that's actually the best part. And it actually tastes like real bread. Like, not only does it just, it not only just toasts well, but you can have it as a soft bread as well. It also stays for a long time. It doesn't go off as much as you'd think it would. But let's get on to that keto recipe now. I will repeat it sort of 2 times. I am reading it off my phone, so bear with me. I'm not sure if this is going to work, so I hope it does, but you never know. So yeah, just bear with me and I will go and get the recipe. Okay, so I'm going to try this now. Bear with me. Hopefully still recording. So for the keto bread, first thing you need is 2/3 of a cup or grams of ground flaxseed, 1/2 cup of almond seeds or sunflower seeds, flax seeds, that sort of thing as well, a cup of wheat gluten, a small block of butter melted, so you melt the butter first, 2 to 4 tablespoons of sweetener / sugar. Now, you can use things like honey as a substitute. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of psyllium husk or xanthan gum, 1 teaspoon of honey by itself, 1 tablespoon of yeast, 2 eggs, 1 cup of warm water, and then an optional, you can also add, peanut butter, chia seeds, or any other seeds that you may want to add as well. Then you put it on your bread maker. We usually put ours on medium, which sort of gives it sort of a browner, it makes the outside of the bread crusty, but not super crusty that you can't bite into it. So it's really, really nice. So again, that recipe is 2/3 of a cup of ground flaxseed, 1/2 cup of almond seeds or sunflower seeds, flaxseed, whatever you want to pick, 1 cup of wheat gluten, 1 small block of butter melted, 2 to 4 tablespoons of sweetener or sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon or husk or xanthan gum, 1 teaspoon of honey, 1 tablespoon of yeast, 2 eggs, 1 cup of warm water, and then the optional, you can add peanut butter or chia seeds and any other seeds that you want to add. Now, I personally have used peanut butter. It is delicious with peanut butter. I also add chia seeds. As you may or may not know, chia seeds are sort of a superfood, and If you do use chia seeds, you don't necessarily have to have the same amount of eggs, because chia seeds can be used as a vegan alternate for eggs usually. You add a little bit of liquid to them and they sort of turn to a jelly. So, yeah, it's completely up to you how you want to do it. But we put it on a medium setting, leave it for about 4 hours, and then have it in the morning when sort of the bread wakes everyone up, which is an amazing feeling. Do try it out. Let me know how you go. If you've got any photos, take photos, send it to me. As I said, doncostas@gmail.com. I will try and put this up over the next couple of days as soon as we make another keto bread. And yeah, I would love to see and hear from you guys about, did it work? Was it nice? Was it tasty? And also your recipes for air fryer. Maybe you've had an air fryer longer than I have, and you've got some recipes for keto or plant-based food that we could try out. I'd love to hear it. I will be honest, I am really looking forward to trying some chicken drumsticks in there, because I love fried chicken. And if I can get air fried chicken and it takes out half the fat and half the skins and all the oil, I'm really looking forward to trying some of that. But I know this is another short week. As I said before, we are safe. There is no more earthquakes at this stage. There is no tsunami warning anymore. It's been downgraded for all areas of New Zealand, which is good. Feel free to contact me if you have anything that you want me to talk about. And until next week, people, I hope you have a fabulous day, fabulous week. Remember, I love you, and I really appreciate each and every one of you listening to me. And thank you so much, and good luck.